tries to deal with the Irish. It's
From New York, still more dangerous than Panama. It's Late Night with David Letterman. Tonight, sportscaster Frank Gifford, actor-director Michael Moore, and musician Michael Penn. Plus, Paul Schaefer and the world's most dangerous man. And now, a man whose hobbies are skydiving, big game hunting, and lying about his hobbies, David Letterman.
Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. I have some exciting news for New York Jet fans. Earlier today, the Jets announced their new coach for next year, Deborah Norville. Thank you. And, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, a new tradition has begun. From the Vatican, if you see black smoke signals rising from the Vatican, it means they're hiding another dictator. Thank you. Thank you very much. Do we have tourists visiting from out of town? As opposed to tourists who live here. But anyway, here's something fun to do, and I've done this before. I haven't done it recently, and it's a lot of fun. Go down there to Trump Tower. Where is it located, Morty? Right up there on 5th Avenue and what, 7th? 57th and 5th. 57th and 5th. It's a huge building. It's opulent and luxurious and a lovely facility. Go in there, get inside the building, well inside the facility, and slip. because that's what insurance is for, you see. And I guess it's no secret by now that Time magazine has named Mikhail Gorbachev as Man of the Decade. And I think that's pretty impressive. And interestingly enough, the voting was very close. Coming in second, kind of a surprise, Howie Mandel. That's right. It was Howie Mandel. Yo, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, when you see this show, I think you're going to drop to your knees and thank God there's television. On the program, Michael Penn with the band, Paul?
Fresh, young,
yes,
talented
that's right.
singer.
Michael Penn, also Michael Moore, a young filmmaker, and football legend Frank Gifford, all on tonight's program. Pretty good, huh? Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to our good friend Paul Schaefer. He's right over there. Paul? Good, nice to see you. How are you? Nice to see you.
What a
Antoine?
show.
Well, nice to have you here.
Thank you very much. David, do you like this? Do you like this shirt I chose for today?
Yeah, very nice. Those appear to be Roman numerals.
Yes, and each numeral corresponds to one of the 12 days of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that interesting?
That's fascinating.
Yeah. It's not really true. It has nothing to do with reality. It's a cute shirt.
You were trying to trick me.
I thought I would trick you on Christmas.
Now, let me ask you this. We know, Paul, we know now that it's the end of the 80s.
Yes, it is.
Is it also the end of the decade?
I would say that it was.
No.
It's not the end of the decade?
Not the end of the decade. Apparently
Why
you and
is
I
that?
are the only ones that didn't know this.
Why is that?
Well, because the decade will be end of 91. That'll be the end of the 10-year period. No? Come on down here and fight. Come on, you. The end of 90. Yeah, the end of 90, the beginning of 91.
The end of 90.
Yeah, see, I didn't know this either. What is it, sir? All depends on which 10-year period? Oh, get your belongings and get out. We're just trying to do a little show here. No, it's because the calendar, right, begins year 1.
Yeah. Okay.
So there, 1 year plus 10 is what?
Is 11.
11, so that would be 91, would be the...
So, so the 80s, so in other words, the 80s will not be over until 1990 is over.
No.
Then the 80s will be over.
The 80s is over. The 80s are over.
The 80s is over?
The
or
80s is over.
Make up your mind.
The decade ain't over.
Ain't over.
No, it ain't over till 90.
It's not over till it's over.
Is that right, sir? Yeah. Dr. IQ, is that? Thank you very much.
All right.
Whew, I'm glad we got that cleared up. And boy, is it cold. How cold is it outside, Hal? Do we have the temperature? Get the temperature. And then we'll get on with the show. But it was, and you know why, Paul? You know why it's been so cold lately?
Of course.
Why?
High pressure.
No, not only high
What?
pressure. The Arctic Zephyr.
Oh, I've never heard of that. What is the Arctic Zephyr?
It comes blowing down from the Canadian wilderness there and freezes everybody.
Yeah.
And we'll find out how cold
I don't
it is.
believe in the Arctic Zephyr
What do you
anymore.
think? Is it time to take the tree down or not? Has
Well,
the tree been... Take the tree down. We'll be right back. Oh, I hope it... Hi, could you hold that for a second, please? Yeah, thank you very much. Hi, nice to see you. Here, there you go. Now I got to get rid of the tree. Do you guys mind? You're right down there with the tree. Watch yourself. Don't get poked. Oh. Okay, be very careful. Get it in there. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I'll see to it that you all get a car. All right, bye-bye. Here, watch that. Oh, my God, look at this. Okay, there. It's all yours. Don't worry, it's been fireproof. Well, there we got rid of the tree. I think I'll go through here, actually. You don't mind. Everybody all right in here? Okay, good. Thank you very much. You know, I don't know. I can't. Look, Paul, 19 degrees. Oh, my God, and look at this. I've cut myself on the tree.
Oh.
Another...
Nurse!
It's one of those ugly holiday accidents you
Get
read
the
about.
nurse.
Look at that.
Oh, it's bad. Drew blood.
You know, I kind of missed the tree.
Wow.
I'll be right back.
No.
Yeah, Hal, can you get me the nurse, please? I've been gouged here pretty good.
She's on her way.
Thank you very much. Boy, that's kind of nasty. Woo! Woo. You don't suppose that's a gunshot, do you?
Wow.
I tell you what, let's do the top 10. We'll do that now. Paul, how many times has holiday fun turned into tragedy?
Oh, see that?
It's just...
And you used all the safety precautions, too.
Yes, I did.
That's
I
the sad.
disconnected the lights.
Yeah.
I made sure I was grounded.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Oh, it's Mr. Decade up there. He's going to be giving us... Here comes my manager, Jack Rollins. He'll take care of this. Jack, I've been injured. Get a suit against the network ready. The top 10 Jack's being roughed up there in the green room. Our top 10 category tonight from the Home Office. Top 10 ways Manuel Noriega is keeping busy. He's down there in the Vatican Embassy, the Papal Nunciate.
Yes.
That's
what does
where
that
he is.
mean? Papal Nunciate. What does that
Papal Nunciate means Vatican Embassy.
I see.
Hey, how about that Bjorn Nitmo? Have you been watching him?
He is so fabulous.
I like having that. Whenever the thing here this tonight slows down, I'll invoke Bjorn Nitmo.
You can always do that.
Yeah, whenever things come to a... maybe I won't. Okay. Here we go. Top 10 ways Noriega is now keeping busy. Number 10, bare-knuckle boxing with Papal Nuncio. Number 9, testing Domino's Pizza 30-minute rule. Number 8, working on paint-by-numbers portrait of Hitler. Friends of Mr. Noriega. Number 7, 2 words, TV golf. Number 6, has already sold consulate staff $1,200 worth of Amway products. Number 5, loafing on the couch, reading Elle magazine, and eating instant coffee crystals right out of the jar. I actually heard someone do this. Ew!
Oh.
Number 4, watching blooper reel from Ayatollah's funeral. Let's see, number 3, talking to Dole Pineapple Company about possible endorsement deal. Number 2, conference calls with Imelda, Leona, and Adnan. And the number 1 way Manuel Noriega is keeping busy now, voodoo, pornography, and Nintendo. There you go. We'll do a commercial. We'll be right back here, folks, with Frank Gifford. Is the nurse on her way? Are you the NBC nurse?
I'm a temp.
You're a temporary nurse, but you're an actual nurse, aren't you? What is that you're rubbing on the wound?
Gauze pad.
And what else? Is some kind of preparation, some kind of medicinal preparation there?
No.
A little alcohol?
Whatever you want.
Well, is there alcohol on there?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I hurt my hand. I'm sorry.
I see that.
I went after a purse snatcher.
Oh, I thought you went after a tree.
No, I was a big guy, much bigger than me, grabbing purses, and I took a poke at him.
Do you have anything as practical as water here?
Do we have any water? Yeah, we have some water.
Is it clean?
Better hurry up, Mr. Gifford's out there.
Oh, dear.
No, it's... What is...
This is very unprofessional.
Yeah, this is standing water we get right off the street. What do you mean is it clean? Boy, oh... Ah! Oh, my God! I always do that, you know.
Please don't.
Many people are sick of it, but I always do it. I enjoy it. What is your name?
Anne.
Anne, nice to have you here.
I'm glad to
Do you have a nice holiday?
Wonderful.
Oh, good.
And you?
Yeah, pretty good, sure. Until this god-awful mess happened.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, put it on there. How often do I have to change that dressing, Anne?
Once a day.
All
right.
All right, thank you very much. Will this be all right now?
I think you'll
No
be
stitches?
cured. Not today.
Okay, here
Put
you
it
go.
on a Band-Aid.
Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye, Anne. See, this is the kind of thing you should get a professional to do. No use trying to do this yourself. You get a professional job on that.
Very wise.
That's right.
To do
So
that.
I have no medical worries now. Oh, I forgot to ask her about tetanus.
Now, how about insurance?
Yeah, insurance. We'll look into all of those things. And
Right.
Our first guest is a member of the college and NFL football Halls of Fame, and for 19 of its 20 years, he has been a commentator for ABC's Monday Night Football. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to one of the greats of the game, Mr. Frank Gifford. Oh, Frank. Frank, pleasure to meet you. Thank you very much for being here. I'll be all right. Thank you. Frank Gifford, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing?
Well, you got to play hurt tonight. Huh?
I guess I do. Let me ask you about this 19 of the 20 years that NFL Monday Night Football has been on the air. You've been part of that team. That's a very impressive record.
I think when you look back over it, the most amazing thing to me is that I have never missed a Monday night.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you've never been out for illness or
nothing? Over the period of years that we've been involved, and the people I worked with, at times would be a reason to miss one on occasion.
What does that mean?
No, we had a lot of fun over 19 years. We tried to figure it all out. It's close to 280 games on Monday night.
Yeah.
Plus, you remember, we had the Thursdays, the Fridays, and we had the Sundays,
Sure.
and made them all. And if you figure out about 3 hours and 10 minutes per game, you multiply that, it's a lot of hours.
But the games are now getting a little longer, aren't they? 4 hours is not unusual.
Yeah, they put in a couple of rules a couple of years ago, and they were supposedly to speed things up, but I think the instant replay has changed a lot of things.
Well, and I also heard that the new guy, Paul Tagliabue, is interested in like a 6-hour game. He'd like to see it go 6 hours.
Get a few more commercials in there, I guess.
And then maybe a break for a brunch on Sundays.
I think sometimes when I think of the local news, we're doing a game and we're 3 hours, 15, 3 hours, 20 minutes. So I think these poor guys sitting around all around the country.
That's right.
Waiting to go on with the local news.
The makeup is running down. Yeah, you were sports director here at Channel 2 for a while.
Channel 2, and then I went over to Channel 7 and came up through the ranks, so to speak.
But, you know, I think the team you guys have put together now is a pretty solid one. You, of course, and Al Michaels, who is just always money in the bank, and Dan Deerdorf. Is this his second year there?
Third year for Dan.
Third year. He's really very good, isn't he?
No, it's actually second year, third year for Al. Dan is amazing. When I've known him for a lot of years, I didn't know that much about him, but I've never known particularly somebody that has come from in the pit, so to speak, as a lineman.
Yeah.
To know that much about football.
Well, you know, that's a dangerous combination. Somebody who's smart and also big.
Well, I've learned that.
Yeah.
He kind of sits down and takes over the booth, and there are a couple of them that we don't all fit in. Dan comes in, and he doesn't have a little brunch. He just kind of grazes a little bit. But he's an amazing guy. When he looks down at a field, he sees everything. He would have been a wonderful coach. He really would have been.
Do you think there's a possibility he'll... Well, now, what about you? Did you ever want to coach?
At one time, I think everyone who's ever played the game, as long as I did, I played it 12 years, and we all knew as players, we knew a lot more than the coach, and I think when I came out of it, I did, and then I looked around and I saw what can happen to you as a coach.
Yeah.
You're totally dependent upon the people they give you and the players involved, and if you don't have them, you wind up like a Joe Walton.
Yeah, now what about that? Assess for us his ability as a coach, if you can.
It's very difficult for me, and I have to look at it in two ways. I played with Joe Walton several years, and he is a great friend. Ginger, his wife, and Tiger, his son.
You played with all of them, Frank?
I knew I'd walk into one.
This is the old NFL when they allowed wives playing. That was strange.
You got me, not Nitmo. Nitmo's out trying to get his visa extended so he can go in through the playoffs.
He's Finnish, is that right, Bjorn? Or Danish?
Oh, no.
Norwegian?
Finnish,
yeah.
Finnish, yeah. But, no, I played with Joe Walton, and so I have a very close feeling about him personally.
Is he a good coach and just didn't have the
Joe
players?
Walton is one of the finest offensive coaches in the business. It's very difficult to be a head coach.
Yeah. It's crazy now. The
I don't know
NFL
what it takes something totally different. You have to be able to deal with different personalities.
It's huge business these days, isn't it?
Oh, it's enormous.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the head coach, I mean, he has to deal with all these different personalities that come from different backgrounds. He's telling a player, you must do this, and the player is making 5 times what he's making.
Now, let me ask you this. Your first paycheck, your first yearly sum of money for playing professional football was how much?
I knew you were going to embarrass me. I was a #1 draft pick in 1952.
#1 draft pick. Now, this is the cream of the crop, the best of the bunch.
We like to think so, but I was offered my first contract from the Giants, $7,500, and not per game.
$7,500.
Now, I'm embarrassed about it too, but I mean, this is what.
But there's nothing to be embarrassed about.
No.
I mean, there's nothing you could do. I mean, you could have had a paper route and done better than that.
I thought of getting one.
Yeah.
really is amazing, isn't it?
But that's the way it was in those days.
And I held out, and I held out, and I held out, and I signed for $82.50.
Oh, man. Now, in those days,
I had a bad year, and they cut me the next year to $8,000.
Is that right? See, that's where they were not goofing around in those days either.
Yeah, we also played in front of crowds in the Polo Grounds. A lot of people don't realize the Giants played there.
Yeah.
We had crowds. We had one crowd of 9,000 people.
Yeah.
And we were playing the St. Louis Cardinals. It was a rainy day, and nobody came.
Yeah. That was in the days before football really burst into the popularity.
And then 4 years later, we won the NFL championship, and I think after that, which, by the way, wasn't even sold out.
Is that right, the championship game?
Championship game against the Bears in 1956, Giants and Bears was not sold out.
Yeah, yeah.
And after that, it just skyrocketed.
7,200 these days is just jock money.
And just, you toss it to the ball boy.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Let's do a commercial here, and we'll come back with Frank Gifford. You mentioned you played at USC, and how many Rose Bowls did you compete in when you were there?
You got me on my salary. Actually, USC went to the Rose Bowl the year before I got there, and they went the year after I left.
Oh, no! So you never played, and there is no kidding.
It's kind of fortunate in a way, because I played in the East-West game, and the Giants came out and scouted the East-West game, and that's when they decided to draft me.
Yeah. And then you played professional football and made a really smooth, pretty solid transition into broadcasting.
It was different when I was playing in the early 60s. I actually was doing local news at WCBS TV here in New York while I was playing. I'd go up and practice at Yankee Stadium and finish practice and come down, do the local news, and I did it year-round.
Yeah. And how were you approached to get the Monday night job?
I was playing golf with Rune Arledge, and he asked me, what do you think about Monday Night Football, prime time? And I said, I think it's great. And he said, what do you think about Howard Cosell? And I said, I don't think that's so great. Yeah. And he said, well, what are your ideas? And he said, could you do it? And I told him I had another year on my contract at CBS, and I suggested he talk to Don Meredith, who was happened to be staying with me at the time. And he talked with Don the next day, and Don had made a deal with CBS, but he went up and talked to CBS, and they let him out of it. And then the next year I joined up, and my contract had expired at CBS, and we hung around together for 8 or 10 years and had a lot of fun with it.
Tell me about you and Meredith as friends. You guys got to be friends, obviously, playing professional football, college football?
I met him first as a player.
Yeah.
In the last few years that I played, he was the expansion quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and that means your body is battered and beaten. And I admired the way he played, the skill as a player, but the way he survived it. And I got to know him, and we traveled a great deal around the country during the off season, and we went to Europe together, and we were in Hawaii shooting ads, and we just got to be great friends, and we still are. I talk to him 2 or 3 times a week. And
now tell me what it would be like at the height of Monday Night Football, the first time it was really hot with you and Don and Howard, and you guys would blow into a town, say Minneapolis. Say any town.
Well,
and you get in
like
there,
Denver
what on
or something. I have
Denver.
I have more keys to more cities. For the first time, a city had the opportunity to showcase their football team on Monday Night Football. It was a huge thing.
Yeah.
And of course, at the time, Howard made it a lot bigger because he was there, and he let everyone know that.
Now, Frank.
No, I mean the man could work a town like nobody I've ever known in my life.
Yeah.
And
but what we want to know, you and Don in the town, anything?
It was there. I mean, they were the key to the city.
I know the key to the city.
I'm an honor. Oh, well, what are you getting at?
Well, I know. Was there ever any, good-natured hijinks?
There was a lot of good-natured hijinks. We had a lot of threats on not our lives in particular.
Wait a minute, I'm talking about good-natured hijinks.
I don't know you that well. I don't know what your definition of hijinks would be. I think just about anything and everything happened.
Yeah. Okay. We'll let it go at that. And speaking of things happening, you're awaiting the arrival of I guess a baby boy. Huh?
A new baby boy.
You and your wife, the lovely
Kathy Lee.
Yeah, that's right, with Regis.
Yeah.
Although I mentioned that with
Kathy Lee.
Kathy Lee. There you are. I used to think it was Vicky Lee. I mentioned Regis there like he had something to do with the baby, but I know for a fact that that's not the case.
No, not in the middle of March. We're expecting a little boy.
Now, explain this to me. You're going to have, how many children do you have?
Well, I have 3 children.
3 children.
And 5 grandchildren.
And 5 grandchildren.
And I'm going to have a new little baby boy. And the best way we figured out, my little son will be my grandchildren's uncle. Works that way, David.
That's confusing. Your son will be the uncle of your grandchildren. And any other odd relationships like that?
Well,
no, he'll just be the brother of your other 3.
He'll be the brother
of the 3
of my own children.
And Kathy Lee's brother-in-law. No, Kathy Lee's son. That's right.
It all works. I promise you.
Well, you're. I mentioned earlier you're a football legend, but you're just solid. You're money in the bank, and people just seem to really, really be fond of you. And I couldn't be happier for you have another addition to your family. And it was a pleasure to meet you.
David.
Thanks for coming over, Frank.
We enjoyed it.
Frank Gifford here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Howdy. Welcome back to the show. You know, Paul, dragging out the tree, I was injured, cut up my finger pretty badly, and it was pumping blood pretty well.
We noticed.
I think I might have hit a finger artery.
Uh-oh.
So I'm trying to be as casual and nonchalant as possible so as not to incite the crowd.
Yes.
And I asked for the nurse, as you heard, and I'm assured by Hal that the nurse is on her way. And Morty comes over, our producer, during the break, and he says, Dave, and blood is now dripping off my index finger. Yeah. He says, Dave, the nurse is here. And I said, great. And he said, would you like to see her now? No, I just wanted to make an appointment for a week from Thursday. On the program tomorrow, listen to this. You think tonight's show is great?
Yeah.
Listen to this. You do, don't you? By the way, beginning 1990, uniforms for the band. Okay?
What are you thinking?
I don't care what they are. I want to see everybody dressed the same, all right?
Like old-fashioned band
I don't care. Just, I'm tired of looking at you. You guys look like mutts over there. Get a uniform. Just everybody dresses the same.
Can we get any money from NBC
Sure,
for
you
this?
come up, we'll talk about it. In fact,
right.
dress like me every night.
All right. Dress like you every night?
On the program tomorrow, this is another great show. Bob Sarlott, very funny young man from San Francisco. Actress Phoebe Cates.
She is ridiculous. We love her.
And if that's not enough, and don't you think it ought to be, from the Today Show, Jane Pauley.
Oh, boy. That's
Jane Pauley, not only Jane Pauley making she's making her final television appearance. Jane Pauley leaving the Today Show. This will be her last North American television appearance ever.
No, that's not really true.
No, it's true. I heard today that she has signed a big contract to be on TV in Japan.
In Japan. So we'll never see her again in this country.
That's right. She's going to be on Japanese TV.
Really? That's interesting.
Coming up on tonight's program, Michael Moore, filmmaker, very talented man, and also Michael Penn, singing with Paul and the band. Well, you know, the 80s are nearly behind us, ladies and gentlemen, so we thought tonight we would take a look at scenes of the last 9 or 10 years, depending on how you're counting. Paul, do you have music for this?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Hey, the 80s. Scenes from the 80s. We're gonna take a look at those 80s right now. Yeah.
Did you really try on that song, Paul?
Yes, that's a composed song. I've used it before
Oh, fine, thanks.
on another network.
Oh.
On cable. I used it on cable.
Uniform, seriously. Here we go. The 1980s began with the inauguration of President Reagan and the nation's first glimpse of his son, Ron Reagan, Jr. It's a glimpse of the 80s. You know, controversy surrounded the wife of Democratic candidate Michael Dukakis. Here, Kitty Dukakis welcomes news cameras on a tour of their Massachusetts home. I think I lost too much blood. You know, certain financial practices came under question during the 80s, such as this board of directors meeting at a typical savings and loan company. The Reagan administration authorized a secret mission to Iran in which Oliver North presented their government with gifts such as Jiffy Pop and Batman hats. A smattering of applause. 1989 witnessed some trouble in the American media, such as the uneasy relationship between Jane Pauley and Deborah Norville. There they are. Why, I oughta... You know, in Japan television, you have to carry your own equipment.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, you know, she may not like it.
Poor thing.
Yeah. Early in the 1980s, commercial air traffic was nearly paralyzed by striking air traffic controllers, but luckily hundreds of replacements were quickly trained to land the big jumbo jets with simple hand signals. CBS News was acutely embarrassed when it was revealed Dan Rather and his associates paid a fortune for this so-called war footage from Afghanistan. Here's a bit of interesting television history. This is a clip now from the original pilot of The Cosby Show.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is. You see how things develop and
Things could have
evolve.
turned out totally differently.
Exactly.
Sure.
Thank you, Paul. Exactly. The westernization of Russia proceeded with unexpected swiftness, including the opening of a McDonald's in Red Square. There it is. The American public grew ever more fascinated with the private lives of celebrities and was intrigued by this footage broadcast on Entertainment Tonight of activities in Cher's bedroom. Reading too slowly or something? Something wrong with my reading tonight.
Think so?
Oh, yeah. I may have to take a remedial comedy course. Here we go. The 1980s marked a dramatic shift in global economics, dramatically illustrated here by this footage taken this afternoon in the Rockefeller Center Executive Dining Room. Well, I hate to disappoint you kids, but that seems to be it. I'm sorry. I did what I could. All right, we'll be right back with Michael Moore. Yeah, Jane will be over there in Osaka doing Daihatsu commercials.
Gee, the poor thing, carrying her own equipment.
That's right. In Japanese television, you have to carry your own equipment. It's not like here, where we pamper our TV stars.
Over there.
That's right.
She's going to have a cold awakening.
Sure, sure, yeah.
She gets over.
Tell me about it. And she has the kids and her husband, cartoon boy. Gary Trudeau, right. Cartoon boy, I don't know. Our next guest, now listen to this. Our next guest held bingo games to help finance a documentary film that he was making about his hometown of Flint, Michigan. The film, called Roger and Me, has opened to lavish critical praise, and there's even talk about Oscar nominations. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man behind it all, Michael Moore. Michael. Hi, Michael. Nice to meet you. Michael Moore. Well, you know, this is a very interesting and entertaining and informative piece of work you've done here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Had you done any filmmaking prior to this?
No, I've never made a movie before. I found myself unemployed and sitting around.
What did you do before you lost your job?
I was a magazine editor. And
a publication we would know of, do you think?
Yeah, but one I don't want to mention because they fired me.
Oh, okay. Well, I know the feeling, sure.
So I sued them, and I won $58,000.
Sued them on what grounds?
For firing me. And I won $58,000 from them, and I started going to a lot of movies just to relieve the boredom, and I was going to everything. I mean,
let me interrupt you here a second. Did the dismissal have anything to do with the hat?
No. Oh, it's a nice hat.
It's a beautiful hat.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got plenty of free time on your hands, and you start going to... I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No.
You're going to movies.
Maybe it did.
You're going to a lot of
For
movies.
$58,000, they should have got the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, you're attending a lot of films.
Everything. Well, not. I mean, everything but Ninja or Neil Simon. Those are like the two genres. I just
couldn't sit through those.
I can't handle those.
Yeah.
But everything. But
Everything in between.
Everything else I would go to, and then I thought, well, maybe I should just make a movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, when you, a lot of people may have thought that, you know, maybe I could be an actor or a singer or a dancer, whatever. You said, maybe I should make a film. Well, fine, but then what do you do?
Get a camera and just start shooting. That's it.
I know, but you make it sound so simple. Where did you get the camera, and where did you get the film, and how did you know what to do? And
well, I can't really say where we got some of it, but you know.
Anyway, it seemed to work out.
Anyways, yeah, and 3 years later, Warner Brothers is distributing my movie all across the country.
Now, see, this is just amazing to me. This is really another version of the American dream.
Well, yeah, except this one's a reality.
Yeah.
You know. Well, I mean, for most people, the American dream is just a dream.
Yeah.
You know, as most of these people can attest to.
Now, the topic of the film is about your hometown, Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, and Roger Smith, the chairman of General Motors, lays off 30,000 people, so I decided to dog them all across the country, trying to bring them to my hometown so he could see what he did to it.
Right. Now, was this the first idea for a film?
Yeah, that's my first idea.
So you would document this, and it's you trying to get him to come back to Flint.
Trying to find him, yeah, and get him to come to Flint and see what had happened to the town.
Economically and spiritually, it devastated the community.
Yeah, it's very devastated, and so, but I went everywhere, followed him all over the country. One of our people got arrested here at the Waldorf trying to get an interview with him, and we, you know, so the film builds to this point where we finally reach him.
Yeah. Oh, you do? You actually get Roger Smith on film?
Well, kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Is it a documentary? Is it the cinema verite? Does that term apply here?
Nah, it's just a movie. I don't know what any of those things mean because I didn't. I didn't.
Your first movie, isn't it?
I didn't
Now, we have a couple of seconds of the film, is that correct? Yes, we do? Okay, do you know what we're going to see here?
Yeah, well, the town is devastated, and so it decides to become the tourist mecca of the Midwest and try and bring 1 million people a year to Flint for a vacation.
So to kind of pick up the spirits of the community.
To pick up the spirits, they decide to become a big a tourism destination.
Okay, here are some scenes from Roger and Me. Watch closely.
You don't usually think of tourist attraction when you think of Flint, but people here in Flint would like to change that, and they're willing to go to some pretty extreme lengths. Flint officials would like to see the local tourist economy explode.
We've got some great facilities as far as places to stay, interesting places to see, museums, and it's a nice community to visit.
This is our visitor's logbook. I see West Germany here, Australia. Jackie, what are some of the things that visitors ask us here?
First off, where is the bathroom? That's the question I get asked most. Then, what is there to do in Flint, basically?
Are you thinking now of another film?
Yeah, I wanna make more movies. I've got this. You know how the Virgin Mary's been appearing around the world lately. She's in a cornfield in Texas and elsewhere, and so I thought we'd go around and try and meet her now and call it the Virgin Tour '89.
All right. Well, regardless of what happens with this project, I think you really are to be commended because it's really a very nice piece of work.
Oh, well,
and good luck to you. Nice meeting you. Thank you for being here. And we'll be right back here with Michael Penn. Over there in Japan, they don't fly; they ride the bus from town to town too. No first class airfare. Rolling Stone magazine called our next guest's first album March. I have a copy of it right here. This album was called A Remarkable Debut. So tonight, folks, along with Patrick Warren, please say hello to Michael Penn. Michael.
She says it's time she goes, but wanted to be sure I know. She hopes we can be friends. I think, yeah, I guess we can't say I, but didn't think to ask her why. She blocked her eyes and drew the curtains with knots I've got yet to untie. What if I were Romeo in black jeans? What if I was Heathcliff? It's no myth. Maybe she's just looking for someone to dance with. See, it was just too soon to tell, and looking for some parallel can be an endless game. We said goodbye before hello. My secret she will never know. And if I dig a hole to China, I'll catch the first junk to Soho. What if I were Romeo in black jeans? What if I was Heathcliff? It's no man. Maybe she's just looking for someone to dance with. Sometime from now you'll bow to pressure. Some things in life you cannot measure by degrees. I'm between the poles and the equator. Don't send no private investigator to find me, please. Lest he speaks Chinese and can dance like a stair on the seas. To dance with.
It's late night, and now a man who isn't sure about the concept of detergent and fabric softener in one day.
Thank you. It means a great deal to me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for selecting us as your evening's home entertainment. Yesterday, Tom Cruise, Paul.
Tom Cruise,
movie
David.
star.
Movie star, David.
And a hunk, if you don't mind me saying so.
That's easy for you to say.
Tom Cruise announced that Christmas Eve, I think this is very, very romantic. Tom Cruise and his girlfriend were married in a private ceremony Christmas Eve. And when I heard this, I realized that I have a little something that I would like to share with you people here tonight. About a week ago, I won my first bar fight. Thank you. Thank you. Paul, let's do the new AC/DC thing. Here we go. One, two, 1, 2, 3. You know, ladies and gentlemen, presently in your homes there, you're watching us on NBC, the greatest television network in the world. Well, January 1st, if you live here in Manhattan, you should be aware of this new regulation. It goes into effect January 1. If you are in Manhattan and you perform a mob hit, the city will validate your parking. So you never have to worry. What the hell are we going to do with the getaway car? Because now, boom, put it right there in the Kinney lot and take off. And you're out of there, clean as a whistle, back into Toledo. Hey, thank you. How do you do? Well, it's one of our guests, Glenn Close. Glenn, nice to see you.
Glenn is in the audience?
Yeah, I saw her right up there.
Oh, that's fabulous.
What? It's not her? Hi, how do you do?
No, that's Peggy Lee.
She's in the wrong room. Whoever it is, she's in the wrong room.
Yeah.
We'll be done in a minute, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, the results of the 1990 census are in. There's some interesting items. First of all, there's about 250 million Americans, and we have some California, I believe, is the most populated state. Wyoming has the fewest people. New York City has the loudest people. So that we know that from... On the program tonight, did I mention it's the longest hour in television? Now, here over there's our friend Paul.
Asking themselves, who is Alan Bragdon?
Alan Bragdon, he has a collection here of interesting items. Disappointed?
Sir.
Ask me, am I a little disappointed?
Well, are you disappointed today and what?
Well,
Why
not
is
just
this,
today,
sir?
but in general.
Why?
$2,500 for collagen injections in my lips, and nobody says a thing.
Oh, come on. Get out of here. Is that a hospital procedure or...
No, a guy came to my house.
I see. Full anesthetic then?
Yeah, he was actually working with my plumber at the time. And, you know, they had to do some snake work, and he says, as long as we got this out, how about the injections in the lips?
Mm-hmm. Collagen injections? Crazy. Enjoy a lovely beverage, why don't you?
Oh, man, it's going to get cold here tonight. We're going to get some snow, they say.
Really?
Up to 3 or 4 inches of snow. That reminds me, the folks who work in the video store where you rent those videos, I rented some about 3 weeks ago. I haven't had a chance of bringing them back. I may not bring them back. And also, I don't want to be fined for it, all right? Because, frankly, I didn't enjoy the films that well to begin with.
Okay.
Like a fine, like a $2 fine, just because I didn't have the time to drop them off on my way to work one morning.
I know. I know
You feel
how
like a
that is.
complete twit. You have to jump out of your car, race in, and feed them into a little slot. And it's always me and a dozen housewives trying to return films for the kids. Well, hey, I ain't bringing mine back, so screw you. Well, that's... I don't know. That may be a little harsh.
Yeah.
I like them. I'll bring them back.
Well,
I'll bring them back eventually. You know, Paul, it's the time of year we like to do this. How many days left in this year, by the way? What is the date today, anyway? 27th. So that means we only have...
Wait, is that the 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st?
Yeah, that's right. So only a few days left in 1990. Let's begin with some New Year's resolutions tonight. My New Year's resolution, I have to say in 3 simple words, low sodium cheese. Paul?
My New Year's resolution is to keep doing what I'm doing, hosting American Bandstand. And my new hit game show, The Challengers, which tests your knowledge of current events, and turning out those blooper and practical joke specials with Ed McMahon. Morty?
My New Year's resolution is to...
Go ahead, Morty.
Dave, my New Year's resolution is to get more reading done during the show, especially the great classics like this one, Louisa May Alcott's Little Women.
Wow.
Earlier in the broadcast, I was actually weeping.
Actually weeping.
Deb?
Morty was actually weeping during the earlier part of the
My New Year's resolution is to finally meet that guy over there who plays the piano.
Wait a minute, Biff. Wait a minute. You don't know Paul over there? Well, Biff Henderson, Paul Schaefer. Paul?
Oh,
Biff
hello,
Henderson.
Biff.
Paul,
Nice
how
to
you
see
doing? Happy New Year to you, Paul.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Boy, it's hot in here, isn't it? Go ahead, Rose.
My New Year's resolution is plain and simple. Accessorize.
Accessorize, okay.
Almar?
My New Year's resolution is to keep searching for the one-armed man and bring him to justice and prove to the world that I'm not responsible for the grisly execution-style killings of my next-door neighbor. Al?
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Al. How you doing?
Fine, thank you. My
Good.
New Year's resolution is to always use a glamorous special effect every time we cut to you, because you, David Letterman, light up late-night TV.
Okay, fine.
Go ahead,
Thank
Jay.
you very much. Thank you very much. Do we have time to finish this up? Larry?
My New Year's resolution is to keep adding cheap, easy laughs to your little comedy sketches just by walking on camera. Happy New Year, suckers.
Marty, just for my own information, do we get a time on that?
Can we get a time, Ron?
Yeah, get a time on that. What was it in rehearsal? 1:40. We had it down to 1:40 in rehearsal.
Moved in for rehearsal.
Yeah, we just...
It was 2:30.
2:30! I don't know how it happens.
Well, the laughs and applause tend to stretch it and add to the time. You got to allow for that.
Yeah, okay. Let's do the top 10, and then we'll just...
All right.
Did I mention that NBC is the greatest television network in the world?
Yes, what is it that's caused your change of heart on this?
Well, only a very, very deep sense of pride.
Well, good for you. Is it the new programming?
What?
Is it the new...
Everything about it. NBC is the greatest television network in the world.
Some reason...
Something really wrong here tonight.
Reason, yeah,
Something
I was going to...
desperately wrong here tonight.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Let's do the top 10 list, and then we'll end. This will be the 11-minute show. Hal, get ready to roll the closing credits, because when I'm done with this little piece of crap, we're out of here. Let Sports Boy figure out how to fill up the rest of the hour, because we're done. Let him talk to, who do they talk to? John Madden or...
Sports Boy, that would be Bob Costas.
He can have the rest of my hour and his own little half hour. Because as soon as I'm done here, we're out of here. All right,
well, we'll just hit the closing theme then.
All right, here we go. From the home office in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Top 10 rejected bowl game titles. Believe me, this won't take long. Here we go. Number 10, the Ben Gay Bowl. Number 9, the White Guys All-Star Game. Number 8, the Cutlass Classic. Number 7, the Festival of Big Sweaty Men on Steroids. Number 6, I don't think it's a fracture, but I can't be sure until we take some x-rays bowl. Number 5, Saddam Hussein's scrimmage unto death. Number 4, the guys who come really close to passing their drug test classic. Number 3, the Tournament of Hoses. Number 2, Sissy Boy Slap Party. And the number 1 rejected bowl game title, Minute Bowl. Good night, everybody. Let me mention who's on the program. An assortment of things you've never
seen before. Well, let's just see. I have a feeling I may have seen a few of these things before.
Now you're going to discourage the viewers, not to mention me.
Well, I'm trying to add to the suspense of the
okay,
whole.
So you're wagering that you may have seen a few of these items.
Perhaps, maybe I have.
Okay.
Are we on the air now?
Who knows?
Okay.
Our first guest is a Glenn Close. Thank you very much for coming back to the little program here.
Well, thank you. I know I'm here because Mel couldn't make it, right?
Mel was supposed to be here, and then he had a change of plans. Had to go somewhere else, I understand.
Right.
But anyway, we couldn't be happier that you're here, and you were our first choice, of course.
Oh, no.
No, sure. No, we don't care about Mel. Just between you and me. You're in Hamlet with Mel.
Yeah.
Now, is this from a theatrical standpoint, from an acting standpoint, is this, did you think immediately this will be a good combination?
I did, actually. Yeah. Because I've always thought Mel... There's that great scene in Lethal Weapon, the first Lethal Weapon, where he has the gun and he almost commits suicide. And I thought it was an extraordinary scene, and he has a great energy, and I love that. Right. And I thought it would be a good partner.
Are there many gun scenes in Hamlet?
No. A lot of sword scenes.
Now, when people go to see this, and if they took a copy of the play with them, the Shakespearean work, the original copy, could they actually follow along? Is it word for word?
It's not word for word, no. It's a 4.5-hour play.
Wow. See, that'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. A lot of people would flock to the theaters to see that. No, I think it's been brilliantly adapted to film in a way that you don't feel that you're seeing a play. It's really incredibly cinematic, and it's been pared away to just the meat of the beautiful language, and then it's great production values and action.
Now, who does that? Whose responsibility is that to get it so it doesn't seem like a 4.5-hour play?
Franco Zeffirelli and Chris DeVore and a lot of the actors had a lot of say in what they did or didn't have to say.
But you can't, it's a situation where you can't, and maybe you can't do this in films generally, you can't make up your own line.
No,
you can't
add
your own word here.
no.
Yeah, because people would go
It's hard
nuts.
to improvise in Shakespearean English. Hi.
And you and Mel got along okay during the filming of this?
Very
thing?
well.
Yeah. You know what I thought you were terrific in as well was the reversal of fortune deal.
Oh.
Yeah. Now that was a great part for you. It was a small part by comparison to the other actors, but a pretty good part, didn't you think?
Yeah. Well, I loved that script. I think it was a brilliant, brilliant script to have it narrated by a woman in a coma. I mean, you know, that doesn't happen every day.
Yeah.
And so it was something I wanted to be a part of, and to be with Jeremy Irons again.
Jeremy Irons does a great job playing Klaus von Bülow, and Ron Silver does a great job doing Alan Dershowitz. Yeah, it was entertaining. And what I realized about halfway through this film is it's okay just to enjoy as much of this movie as you can, because a lot of times you'll be in a movie and you'll be emotionally touched and you'll start to sob and have to leave or something. But this one I thought I can enjoy this as much as I want, because these are the kind of people you don't really have to care about, period. Don't you think? I mean, they were that kind of people. Of course they had problems. We all have problems. But do we care about them?
I don't know ultimately whether you do or not.
No.
I hope you have some sort of pity for at least Sonny.
So, Sonny was
alive in a coma for 10 years.
Yes, and certainly in a pitiable state.
Yeah.
But did she get there by her own lifestyle, perhaps?
Maybe, I don't know. I always think she was a woman who's just uncomfortable in the position she was born into. One of those kind of maybe tragedies of circumstance.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought it was a very entertaining film. Did a great job with it. What are we doing here? All right, we have to do a... Yeah. Are there actresses? Do you think men or women are better actors? Does it make any difference? Is there anything gender related here?
I don't think so.
Really?
No, I think you're either a good actress or a bad actor.
Do you think the best actor currently working today is a man or a woman?
Oh, God.
And your answer has to be in the form of a question.
I wouldn't be able to answer that.
Really? No, you could answer that.
No, I don't have opinion of who's better, who's best. I don't think it applies.
Are there actresses whose work you see and you take home and you think, man, they're doing something there I'm envious of?
Not envious. I get inspired a lot by my fellow actors.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it should be. That's the nature of creative work. Now, are there actors or actresses whose work gets a great deal of praise that you just think, what is that?
Sometimes, yeah.
Really? Yeah. And of course you can't.
Because you know the real story, kind of.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Do you have a real story we can?
Yeah, but I wouldn't tell you. No.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Editors can be magicians.
When you have been nominated now 5 times, what is the record for nominations for an Academy Award?
I don't know.
I would think 5 must be very close to it. And what do people say to you at these award ceremonies these days? When you go there and
I voted for you.
Yeah, they say that too? But it must be fun to go regardless. I mean, you can't have fun really if you're nominated, can you?
I don't know. To me, to be nominated is really the great honor. And who win? I don't know about winning or losing. I mean, I don't think anybody's a loser, and I don't know how. I mean, if everybody voted for me and I haven't won, I don't know who votes.
Is it possible for not necessarily you, but maybe an actor or actor, here we go back to these questions again, to have a successful career in the world of films and not win an Academy Award?
Yes, a lot of our most wonderful actors never got Oscars.
Yeah, like who?
I think, I don't think, did Cary Grant ever get one? No. Did Jimmy Cagney ever get one?
Oh, yeah.
Did he?
He got 2 or 3.
Did he? Oh, well, that's good. He deserved it. He did not. Yeah, I don't think it's, that's not, to me, I mean, I would think it'd be great to win, but I never choose stuff thinking it's going to get
The important thing is to continue to do the best work you possibly can, isn't it?
Yeah, and hopefully get good material.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your Christmas. Did you do anything special? Did you spend the time with the family? What'd you do?
Yeah, very quiet.
Yeah, the quiet meaning at your home in Connecticut?
Yeah, well, New York State.
Yeah, New York State.
Yeah.
Well, you're worried I'm going to follow you home. Was it a big celebration?
No, very, very small.
Yeah.
Because I've been away working for 8 months this year, and it was just great to be home and not have to go anywhere.
Yeah. And do you know what your next project will be now?
Nope.
Really?
No.
And are people just knocking on your door day and night saying, here's a script, here's a script? Really?
No.
Really?
I could say yes, but it's not the truth.
But that's by your own desire, right?
Well, yes and no. Yeah, I mean, I could be working now if I wanted to, but I haven't been offered material that I have responded to. So.
Yeah. And you're pleased with the way Hamlet turned out?
Very, yes. Yes.
And is there a film that you could have been in that you haven't been in that you wish you had been in now?
No. No, there isn't.
Yeah. What was the biggest film you turned down?
I haven't turned down a film that I've regretted, actually.
Yeah.
Yet. I'm sure it will happen.
Yeah. For me, it would have been Saturday Night Fever.
David, I wish you, your life would have been totally different.
Oh, are you telling me? Plus, think of all those free white suits I could have had. Let's see. Hamlet is there...
That won't drive me crazy.
And that's the John
Kenny
Cougar
Aronoff on the drums.
Drummer. Yeah, Kenny, nice to see you.
Original John Cougar Mellencamp.
Mellencamp still live in Indiana?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what part of Indiana?
Bloomington.
Bloomington, Indiana, but he's from Seymour, isn't
Right.
it? Yeah, now does he make you guys all go down there and hang around?
We hang around in Bloomington.
Yeah, but he's got like a huge barracks that he wants everybody to come and live in, doesn't he?
No, not exactly.
Yeah, sure, Kenny. Talk to me later, will you? Yeah. You know, it was my idea originally to call him Johnny Cougar.
Is that right?
That was my idea, yeah.
You getting royalties on that?
Yeah, no, it's Johnny Cougar. I thought it'd be a cute name. Oh, hey, the red light's on. Coming up in this... Well, we can do... Now, here's some comedy. Get ready for comedy. These are actual, what is this, dumb ads. Paul, do you have music for this?
Yes, dumb ads. Those dumb ads. Those cuckoo ads. Those crazy ads.
Paul Schaefer, the haunting and beautiful love theme from Dumb Ads. Now, when you go down there, does he like pretend you're actually on a farm and you go out and bale hay and clean up after animals and all that stuff? And you kind of have to put up with it because you want to be on the record, right?
Of course.
Yeah, well, the guy's goofy. You know the guy's goofy, right?
No, you're from Indiana, you know.
No, yeah, sure. Where are you from?
Originally from Massachusetts.
Yeah, well, you must hate going out there.
No, I've lived there for 20 years. I love it.
You actually live in Bloomington?
Yeah.
Oh, you do not?
I live in Bloomington, and I go to L.A.
Well, yeah, they are pretty much the sister cities. When do you fly that MGM Grand out of Bloomington? You're right into L.A. Yeah. Yeah, today, boys, we're going to brand cattle. Oh, God, John, please, not this. Here we go, our first dumb ad, Plaza Meat Market. Happy Hanukkah, whole pork loins, $1.69 a pound. Sometimes you gotta break the rules. That's what it's like, isn't it, Kenny?
Oh, yeah.
You're trying to get some sleep, and there's horses and pigs and... here's an ad for something called My First Boom Box. There it is right there. Never too early to encourage your child to become a public nuisance. Missed the window by a foot. Christmas gift ideas, mousetraps, 4 for $1. What better way to tell a friend, I notice you have mice? Yeah, we're going riding today. Okay, John, all right. Yeah. And we're gonna go hunt some bear. No, you're not. Just get in the limo, John, and cool off, will you? Here's something, meat or Oriole Franks, $1.79. Paul, have you ever tasted Oriole? It's not bad.
No.
It's a little like chicken.
It is, I see.
Oh, is that you?
It's you, yeah.
What? People backstage whistling.
No, it was me.
Free burned out mobile home, 14 by 70, 6 wheels, aluminum siding, good for storage space, must haul away soon. Oh, okay, what's the catch? 12-hour Memorial Day inventory clearance sale tomorrow only, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. We believe the store is located right on the international date line. If I can do it, anyone can. Thank you, Slim Time. No diet, no exercise. They just removed those 2 kids from his pants. Here's an ad. Fesh Live Christmas Guinea. Handmade wreaths. Fesh Live Christmas Guinea handmade wreaths. How much the ad costs if we don't use ours? How are we doing on time? West Coast Appliance Center, Mr. G.E. Well, that's certainly a face you can trust, isn't it, Paul? Mr.
You
G.E.
can put your confidence in the brand of excellence, the household appliances that bear the name GE.
Here we go. You're invited to have your ornaments, let's see. You're invited to have your ornaments mouth blown while you wait. You know, I remember when it used to be a big deal just to sit on Santa's lap, but now...
Will be a music.
So witness. You boys come out here from Hollywood to make an album, but first we got farming to do.
Our next guest is a writer. A historian and collector of some really old stuff that no one else wants. He has cataloged them in this new book right here, Ingenious Inventions of Domestic Utility. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alan Bragdon. Alan? Pleasure to see you. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Alan, where are you from, sir?
Cleveland, Ohio is where I started out.
Oh, good for you. Good
but
for you.
mostly New England, which is where these things got
All right,
collected.
and explain to us now what is in your book here. What have you chronicled for us?
A lot of things, as you pointed out, that nobody can identify.
These
things
are
that
old,
they don't even use much anymore.
Old farm implements?
Farm implements, stuff around the house. Your grandmother might have worked with it in the kitchen. Your uncle might have worked with it in the orchard.
What's the oldest item you have here tonight?
Let's see.
Aside from the tie.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good night, everybody. Drive safely. Good night.
Christmas.
Yeah, I know. It's a beautiful tie. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Seriously.
Chosen for the occasion. The oldest item here.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah. No. Okay.
But
all right.
after that,
should we just begin now and you show us these things and we'll take a look at them?
Yeah. Would you like to
sure.
demonstrate a couple of them?
Okay. Go ahead.
Do you know you know what this is?
This is, I'm guessing because of the apples, is probably an apple coring device.
Peeling.
Apple peeling device.
Yeah.
All right.
Put it on N2. Just jam it right on in there.
Right in there like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. And then crank.
Crank. All right.
And stand up.
Wow. You can
catch it.
Oh, you're supposed to catch it. But normally you'd have like a colander or something underneath there and you'd be ready to go, wouldn't you?
Right, to catch the peels.
Is there a better way now to peel apples than this device?
Well, problem with this apple is that it's delicious, see, and it's not uniform. That's a little better, but it sure beats doing it by hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but what I'm talking about today, do we have something that does it more rapidly than this?
No, you don't. No, 3 or 4 people all working at the same time. But that's about it.
Well, then, now what is it doing? What am I doing wrong there? What does that
You're
have?
doing
Well,
nothing
it's not
wrong.
uniforms, which is, hey, Paul!
Thank
you.
But it'll also do potatoes.
Potatoes?
Yep,
Sure.
Yep, turnips.
Okay.
In case you want to peel the turnip.
Paul, that was on the floor. What is the matter with you?
I bet you peeled it.
Yeah. All right, now, what's next?
Do you want to try to guess? Because that's part of the idea. The book just photographs these things, and you try to...
I know exactly what this... Pierced ears.
What that?
No, you know,
that
it's,
hurts a lot.
It's a grommet. It's some kind of grommeting device.
Good thinking.
What
Very
is it?
close.
What is it?
In fact, this kind of thing, one just like it. I used to have the
What is
best
it?
time.
Pits. It pits things.
No, one against the other. No, it's a. We used to have a good time with this, trying to ask people what they are, what it was, and watch their minds work and see how they look at it from underneath and try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Had a wonderful time at parties with these.
Right.
All right. It is a bunion wrench.
Oh.
You ever heard of a bunion?
Yes, sure.
It's a corn.
Yeah.
And nobody in this audience is old enough to know what a bunion is.
Yeah.
But if you have a corn, you know, and your boots don't don't fit.
Right.
Then you just put that right down in the boot.
All right.
And you squeeze like that, and it pushes the leather up through here, and it makes a little lump there so it won't grate on your corns.
I'm not sure I fully understand that.
First, you take your foot out of the boot.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So it stretches the leather of the boot.
Right.
Ah, okay, great. Okay. Here, look at this.
Bunion wrench.
Ooh. Hey, Paul. Ho! The bunion wrench. What's next?
Well, this one nobody is going to guess.
That's a little
Don't
memento.
try.
Oh, okay, you go ahead with yours, and then I'll do mine. It's a, what is it?
What is it?
I don't know.
Gypsy Rose Lee when she was 11 years old.
There you go now. Now I'll try mine. A memento from your honeymoon. Great. Solid.
Was I proud.
What is that, doctor? Are you a doctor?
No.
Do you mind if I call you a doctor?
I wish you would.
All right. What is that, doctor?
Better wear a white coat than a pink face.
Exactly.
This is, these are, in the old days when you had horse and buggy.
Yeah. You know where the audience is, right?
In the old days when you had horse and buggy. I'm not supposed to be good looking. You are.
Oh, okay. Come on, what is that, doctor?
In the old days when you had a horse and buggy, you had to take care of your horse. And,
right.
and even though you spent most of the time looking at one end of the horse, you had to take care of the other end. Now, flies are a bad thing, and it bothers horses a lot.
Right.
So this was knitted by a lady.
Put them right over their ears.
Go over the ears.
Exactly. Exactly. All right.
They keep the flies out.
How much time do we have? 1.5. Let's get right to the big stuff. What else is here?
Well,
let's just keep
you're
moving.
a Midwesterner, aren't
That's
you?
right.
So you know about
Indianapolis,
chickens.
Indiana. Oh, I know all about chickens.
Okay. Well, then you know that one of the important things about chickens is that when it's time for dinner, that chicken knows it.
That's right.
And
exactly.
so that, and if you're beginning to get to the age where it's a little hard to go scrabbling after chicken like this, when it gets to be Sunday.
Oh, hi, doctor. There you are. Thought you'd left on a house call.
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't turn your back when I've got this in my hand.
So you grab them by the neck. You just ring them
by the leg.
By the leg. Trip.
By the leg.
It's a chicken tripper.
Right. It's a chicken catcher. The chicken is trying to take the trip.
Name of my band in the 70s. Did you know that? The Chicken Trippers. Yeah, very popular. You remember that, Paul, don't you? Yeah, of course we were.
And so you have to keep the chicken, as well as get the chicken cooked, you have to keep it wet.
Okay.
Now,
what's
one
next?
of the problems with chickens is that they aren't very bright, and they don't take care of their environments, a lot like us. And so one of the things you have to do is to invent a contraption that'll keep the chickens out of the water.
Exactly.
So you invent this thing, which is, I'm glad to point out, doesn't have a hole in the bottom.
Right.
And
big ceramic funnel-like item, but no hole in the bottom.
And notice the shape. It's significant. And then you put this on top. And
that
then the water
feeds them their
comes
water,
in.
yeah.
But they can't sit on it.
Exactly. Right.
That's the whole point. Now, don't you think it was an inventive mind to put something like that
I think
together?
so, because the chickens are, oh, sure, whatever. Let's just... What's next, doctor?
Well, one thing is, one of the good things about hearing aids, right, is that you can take them off when you don't like what you're hearing.
Right.
And this is an old-fashioned hearing aid from about 1840.
Wow.
And sound increases in its, the sound amplifies as it goes through a tube. Yeah. And then because this pokes out like your ear, you can hear it better.
A primitive hearing device.
Primitive hearing device.
All right. Let's do the last one, doctor.
This is fun. Now, if you're in the old days when there used to be a lot of bounty, you know, the harvest all came in and you had to take care of it, process
you'd
it all
have
at once.
corn, you'd have potatoes, you'd have 2 or 3 kinds of beans, you'd have tomatoes, you'd have squash, you'd have zucchini.
Right.
All right, let's get to it.
This is how you make succotash out of it.
Succotash.
This is cabbage, in case all of you knew that.
Cabbage.
So you crank it up.
it's
You
a
want
good
to do
way
it?
to... Oh, sure.
Now, inside there...
Great. It's unbelievable. You're chopping up the cabbage.
This is the original Cuisinart.
Man, now see, that would work in any kind of quantity. That would really work.
Well, darn right.
Yeah.
You had to do it
Well,
in a
of course
hurry.
you had to do it in a hurry.
Or it rotted.
Exactly.
No refrigeration.
Okay. Well, what do we do now?
Well, we got... No refrigeration.
Go down to Hurley's and get a drink.
God, we
All right. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. My thanks to Alan.